This is City Glendale's Materials Testing Lab, part of the engineering department. What we do here is any construction materials that are used in the right-of-way, we test them to make sure they either meet specifications or test for properties that we would need to determine if they're properly used. The City of Glendale does have specifications for asphalt, concrete, and in fact soils, depending on what they're being used for. We also are a member of the Maricopa Association of Governments. Our job here is to make sure that the materials that we sample and test meet those specifications, and that ensures that whatever's built here will last as long as it's designed to last. And one of the materials that we test for is soils. Okay, we've gotten a sample of soil from an excavation, brought it into the lab. In order to run tests on this, the first thing we would need to do is we need to break it down. And this is what's called a number 4 screen. There's 4 openings per square inch. What we're going to do is just put it over the screen and try to get, it separated into those 2 components. What's smaller than this and what's larger than this. One of the tests we're going to run is a sieve. The issue is that rocks or pieces of soil that are this small, a lot of them are stuck to other rocks. So we actually have to wash the samples. Spray a little water in there, a little more. Then we'll turn it on. A lot of that is that -200 material. It'll flow out over this. We have a 200 sieve nest in the sink that it'll flow over. It'll catch anything that's bigger than 200. The rest just goes down the drain. So one of the tests we do is called a Proctor Test. We take the soil. This is the soil, some more of that -4 soil. We put it in an actual kitchen mixer. It's just like baking, only dirtier. We dump that in, turn it on. Okay, so we have the sample all mixed up, and the next thing to do is to put it in a Proctor mold and actually compact it. We just take some soil, scoop it in there, take the hammer, 3, 4. Then we got to get it out. Okay, we'd get a weight on this. And we take that weight, we subtract out the weight of the mold, and we know the actual weight of the sample itself when we record that. Okay, that sieve sample that we washed, all those rocks in that washer have been washed, they're dried, you can see there's no loose soil on them, and now what we need to do is determine the actual number of particle sizes in here. So we do that with the sieve nest and the shaker device, and causes everything to fall through. Okay, with the sieve test, there's a couple things that are important. It tells us a lot about that soil, how it's going to behave in the field. If there's too much of that -200 stuff that we were talking about, it could indicate that it's going to swell when it gets wet, which can, lift up sidewalks or roadways, cause cracks in foundations, things like that. So if we see that, that's something we'll say, we need to run further tests on that. That would be an indicator. City of Glendale has a unique asset in the Materials Testing Lab. We're all accredited by the federal government to do these tests. We're checked on a monthly basis on various things, but it ensures that we know what we're doing and that our results will stand up in a court case or something. Most of all, we get to ensure that everything is done properly, and it gives us a sense of pride in what we do.